Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and buddy, it's Fringe Week. It's Fringe time.
Yes.
We did this. How many years have we done this now where we go and we get to talk to all these crazy Fringe folks?
It's 3, I would say.
No, I want to think
This
it's
is the
more than
4th?
that. No, I think COVID ate one of your years. I think this is our 4th year.
Okay, yeah.
I think you did what I was about to do, which is like to have the virus steal an entire year. But yeah, we get to do it again. And I love it when we get a full week of getting to talk to super creative, artsy people that do amazing things. And we're just going to go ahead and start. Our first, I guess, group of Fringers is, it's going to be the Orange Venue. And Sam, when is this? The 21st?
Yes, it kicks off Friday, May 21st and goes through Sunday, May 30th.
Indeed, and this is on the line with us right now. If you're looking, and I say on the line, they're not really on the line. They're on the Zooms. They're in the bottom left-hand corner if you're watching on Twitch and YouTube. We have Blue Star and Joyce
Arbucias. God damn it!
You messed it up.
Why'd you do that to me?
I wasn't gonna do it to him, but it's what I always do. I always do that joke to you, and I only did it to you because when I looked down at her last name and she just taught us how to say it, I couldn't remember how to say it correctly.
And I was like, how was it again? I'm like, oh, thank God Daniel's doing it because I forgot 1 second after she told me.
And then right when he said, thank God Daniel's doing it, I said, watch this. And then I pointed at you.
Arbucias.
That was well done.
All right, there it is.
All right,
Arbucias.
Okay. But look, for those of us around here, we know Blue Star. I mean, she's always doing something, changing venues, in the paper, out of the paper, putting this on, has this group, has this venue here, has this thing going on there, dancing and doing all of that. So we know her. But Joyce, nice to meet you. I've never met you before, and welcome to our show. And thanks so much for being on here, guys.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about your particular performance. Alchemist of Dreams is at the Orange Venue. $12 gets you in. Don't forget you need a button before you purchase your tickets. That's the way it works. But tell us a little bit about this and how you guys decided to put this on.
Talk about being a long time in the making. We actually were creating this for last year's Fringe Festival for 2020, and we started writing it together. Joyce and I have history of making shows together, and we've worked on a couple of big projects. I've worked with her in Imagination House, fortunately, and then we created Winter Blue at the venue, which was awesome, an outdoor experience that was just awesome. So we had decided, because Joyce is finally able to produce, because she's spent many years working with the Fringe.
Yeah, I was the president of the board for a few years, and I still work with the board. And so, so we've been doing shows together for a long time, and we had this idea, 2 years ago or more, and we started working on this, and we're really gung-ho for last year's Fringe. And then, that thing happened.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, we were literally like in production rehearsal, and we did the shutdown. And I remember Joyce and I sitting outside in her backyard, and we were like, well, you know what? We're just going to hunker down for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we did that too.
This will probably blow over.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, totally.
And the myriad of...
We said pass the track. Just listen to the music. Everybody get it in your head. We'll be back in rehearsal soon.
Yeah. That didn't happen.
No.
Literally like shut the book on it until we realized that Fringe was going to happen this year, which was super exciting for us. And we started to look at the script again and started creating again, which was magical. I think the show is it's interesting because it touches on a lot of real life situations that we didn't even know. Joyce is the wordsmith and the brains behind the script, and molding things together. She's done a really great job of storytelling, and then I throw the music and the dance on top of it. But when we got done with this version, we realized
it's a really fun show. We love the show. Because we produce and direct shows for a living, both of us. This is a fun opportunity for us to collaborate, and it's also great because normally, for me anyway, my company, we're often working for a corporate boss, so to speak. So we're working for somebody who's hired us to do a show for them.
Right,
so
right.
we get to play. Yeah. And so the show is about a woman who owns a shop of dreams.
Ah!
And people come there to get a dream, what they think they should get. Sometimes fate and the alchemist give them something different. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, kind of like the dream. Or sometimes like, you know, when you're dreaming and you wake up and then you try to go back to the dream and the dream's gone.
Yeah,
Or-
like
and you have to-
lucid
excuse me, I'll probably-
dreams. Yeah. Okay, what's interesting about this is right when you started to describe dreams, via the power of Zoom, Zoom decided to dream away. Which so everything that I knew was so cleverly crafted and perfectly said was just a and so we're like, no, we need the goddamn dreams. Give us the dream. So
that's pretty much one of the feelings that you get too. I mean, we have all sorts of, you know, dreams that don't make sense, which we often encounter in life. Dreams that you that emulate real life. Dreams that you know, I love dreams of flying. We have dreams of, one of my favorite things that we were talking about before is like, you know, my happy place is underwater. So that's a really beautiful dream that happens. And Jack Krieger is kind of our lead in that one. And so you kind of get that sense of safety that water presents, at least in my case.
Sure.
That's really cool.
And with all of this and like the dancing and the writing and everything are involved in this, is there a burlesque, you know,
element?
Or element to this? Because it sounds very much like a Cirque du Soleil kind of a dream, very much I'm going to watch this thing and almost transport myself to a dream stage, if you will.
Dun, dun, dun!
Yeah. I'm into it.
For sure. I mean, you know, because Blue Star, and I speak about her like it's not me, is synonymous with burlesque. There is a little burlesque element, but
Sure.
I think what people tend to forget is my dance background and my ballet background of being a principal dancer for the early part of my years. And that theater is truly my first love. So yes, Tamisha Harris, AKA Tush, which you know from Josephine, will be emulating that burlesque character. However, there's certainly a fun twist that goes along with it. So
Cool.
Yeah, there'll be some pasties, but not really, because we definitely want to share this with as much of an audience as we can. So it's emulated there, and there's definitely a nod, but not married to.
Gotcha. That's cool. You can still influence, but not fully go in. I get it. Yeah, I like that.
I want to ask you guys about dreams. I know that you're not dream experts, but I'm sure you because the show is has that theme. I have a weird relationship with dreams because I don't have them.
This is all true, by the way, which is why he, and I'm not going to use this word, but there's a word that starts with H that he flings around about dreams a lot because he can't dream.
Well, no, I hate hearing about Daniel's dreams because it's all nonsense, and he's describing to me some sort of fantasy.
I got good ones,
and I'm listening and shaking my head like, yes, okay, you believed you were this was happening. It's all just some imagination, or like this happening. Anyway, but my own relationship with dreams, I don't have any at all, and my wife only has nightmares. Literally has, when she dreams, it's only in nightmare
it's like
form.
negative, yeah.
So I don't have any positive experience with good dreams.
This is why you need to go to this.
And I can imagine that like people have really good, satisfying dreams that they wake up the next morning like, wow, I had such an adventure. Like I can't even wrap my brain around. I think, well, how is that possible?
Do you guys have vivid dreams in your real lives? Can I ask that? It's a personal question.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes you wake up and then you think you woke up, but you're actually still dreaming.
Yes.
And you have to kind of go back into the space. And I mean, we touch on that too. Because there's a little bit of nightmare. There's a little bit about isn't dreaming like your brain just kind of working through stuff apparently? So like there's a little bit of that too. There's, what are you working through? Or what did you think you wanted to work through? But your brain had a totally different plan.
And I will say, in your defense, you know what they say about people that don't remember their dreams, that they're actually dreaming, but they're just extremely smart people. You know that, right?
Yeah, you should
I
start
don't know
winning.
if that's
not this case. That is
Not where I thought you were going.
I'm trying to throw him a bone here.
That's not where I thought you were going.
Is there another theory? that first theory, not can't be
Blue,
true.
you're so sweet. He's unhelpable. You're like helping him and doing a vaudeville skit, and he's like, "Nope, not the case, ma'am.
I think
not the case."
I think I'm dead inside. I think that has something to do with it. Also, the fact that I only want to live my life like a computer logic, where that I refuse to let my brain fantasize about anything.
You know what's interesting about what you guys are doing here, and with Alchemist of Dreams, and again, Orange venue, $12, 13 and up. It starts on Friday the 21st, goes into the 30th. Orlando, what is it? Fringe.org?
OrlandoFringe.org.
OrlandoFringe.org. I messed that up, but didn't. I got all the words there, just not in the right order. But here's what I would say. I'm studying like this in a book about dreams, and there are people right now. It's really big. Like meditation is, for me, it's new. For a lot of people, it's huge and can really be a benefit to their life. And there are people that say, Tom, that you can reach a state of meditation where you can access your dreams, and every dream you have will be a lucid dream that you are not only participating in the adventure, but you are able to control the adventure. Like you are able to get inside your dreams and control them. And that's like the goal. So like this, man, I might have to check this out because I'm kind of getting in this whole meditative thing. Is that something that you guys is that handled at all in here, or have you ever had one of those lucid dreams where you actually felt like you were in control?
I mean, we talked about lucid dreaming. The other piece that we didn't mention, and another character in our show, is fate. Because a lot of times we are really set on dreams and we really think we know what we want, but fate has a different idea. And so things sort of take you in a little different direction.
Yeah, I like when you were saying that the alchemist, sometimes it's like you're coming to the dream shop to buy a dream. And I'm just imagining this, but I'm a weirdo and this is where my mind goes. So Tom, you tell me if you thought of this.
Okay.
Like the alchemist, like, that's a crafty character because you're not going to get the dream you think you need. You're going to get the dream you really need.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh man, then I'm coming. I gotta go because this sounds like this totally put a top hat on me and I'll fly in the dreams.
It's like a Total Recall. You go to the corporation that gives you the vacation that you paid for.
Yes.
You're like all in your mind. I wonder if we'd ever reach a point where you could be given some sort of drug or be put into some sort of state where you could get into some sort of REM of sleep where then you can they can somehow chemically and mentally stimulate your brain enough where you could be in a lucid dream, because that is basically fantasy, right? Like being able to be into a fantasy that you can control a fantasy world.
It's not a fantasy. Here's the difference, because I'm reading this book about it's in that Comfort Crisis book I'm reading. So that they say that your mind cannot tell the difference. So if you can execute things properly within your dreams, it's not a fantasy. You're actually executing it because your mind is everything, right?
Now, I think I have a couple of answers to those. Number one, there's always shrooms. You're welcome. And then number two, I do a form of therapy called EMDR. It's a eye movement desensitization reprogramming. And I would say that it's probably the closest that you can get without any sort of medication, quote unquote, if you will, that actually will put you into that dream state, almost like that hypnotic state. And you can retrain your brain. Like I do it for PTSD and trauma. And so I go back into some scenarios and basically put myself into that dream state and then kind of control the ending or the outcome so that you heal yourself. So that's probably the closest thing that I could do it. And it definitely shows itself in the show a little bit because it's been really important to me for my progress and healing.
Nice.
And I think, that's important to understand too. You're right. I mean, that dream state, which you've never experienced.
I've had it's so great.
I've had dreams before, but it's like I don't as in my adult life is few and far between. It just doesn't. I don't remember.
Well, that's because you get blacked out drunk at night.
It could be the alcohol.
I mean, I don't know
lot
if you
of
guys,
THC.
I don't know if you guys have a medical marijuana license, but
That's great.
it will kill your dreams.
You think it would enhance them, but that's just
2 stone to dream. dream. I got nothing.
That's our sequel. That's our sequel.
This is very interesting. Kudos, guys. This is cool because like I love the idea of dreams because to me it's both. And here's what I like about it is I love the imagination aspect of it. I love the idea that in my dreams I can do anything I want. Like, but there's also this part of me, and I'm a hypochondriac. I got OCD. I got so much anxiety and stress problems, but there's a very sinister and scary part of dreams. That uncontrollable, kind of like what you were saying with your wife. You know, those still count as dreams, but she has some pretty vivid dreams about some pretty scary stuff, like going off a ravine or can't get out of a car, you know, like the windows. It's terrifying, but like
family dying or me cheating on her is a very that happens all day.
Which is that actually in there? Like,
then she wakes up mad at me in real life, and I'm just like, all right, this makes zero sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop cheating on her, bro.
That's what she says.
I've actually talked to his wife on a day when she had a dream that he cheated on her, and she will not talk.
It affects her.
She won't talk to him. She'll be like, "This son of a bitch."
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That is terrible. We actually have those dreams, the dreams that make no sense. It's a really cool part of the show that is just like whacked out. We call those varieties moments. You know, Varieties is almost 20 years old. That's what's really cool about this. And watching the growth of Varieties itself has been interesting. But like Katrina Sorcelli is our Dreams That Make No Sense lead there. And she's just whack. I mean, her dancing is incredible. The music is insane. We sat in the studio the other day and really
tweaked it out.
Yeah,
nice.
It's wild. It's like 2.5 minutes of what the F. It's just like, I don't even, I think the audience is going to be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just saw.
But 2 minutes. That was wild. Am I high? Yes.
Those are the shows.
And that's what I always say. If you're not high, then we'll make you feel like you are.
Yeah, those are the shows that I like the best because there's a certain freedom at Fringe that you don't really get anywhere else. And that's why I'm so glad that you know, guys like you, for lack of a better term that everybody's using, like luminaries that we know in the Orlando community, not even Orlando, internationally community, can come to Fringe and kind of be themselves. It's like you're not doing a corporate show at all. You're doing a real show, and all the money goes back to you guys. So I love it. I love it. I love it.
Is this one of the first times you guys have been performing in front of people? Like
question.
we recently did an event. We did our land cruise, and the magician actually, like, it was the first time for him performing in front of anybody in a year, and he's like, man, I gotta knock the rust off. He's like, I've done this 10,000 times, but I've never taken such long a break.
He was nervous too because all of his eggs fell out of his pocket. Seriously, and they broke on the floor. And when he got up there, he didn't have any eggs. And I'm like, oh, this guy's effed.
Yeah.
And it was in front of his girlfriend, and she'd never seen him perform before.
How's it work for you guys? Does it you have to like knock some rust off, or?
So we have been fortunate enough because of House. And the team that we have all been performing with us since we opened. So for the past 6 months, these beautiful artists have had the opportunity to perform in a safe space and kind of get their feet wet again. I will say that part has been very challenging. And even for myself, like coming off of 2 hip replacements and then also just like trying to figure life out. And then all of a sudden you're on stage in front of people. And it's a journey that every artist is going to take, and that every artist, that's a through line for Fringe that has never been there before, because, everybody's used to just that. Like you said, I've done this 1,000 times. So fortunately, these kids have been performing at House, on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Some of them have had their own shows already there. So we're really fortunate in that respect.
Yeah.
However, being in a true theater environment and a 3/4 thrust room, and with true theater people, and not trying to convince people that while they're eating dinner that this is a really cool show that they're watching while they're like just cutting their steak. Yeah, so that's cool to have. The undivided attention of an audience is going to be something collectively that we'll get to experience.
Cool.
And I think on this journey for everybody, I I commend these artists because they are really, truly putting themselves out there like they never have before. It is probably one of the most vulnerable moments in their career that they have ever had to date. And that's pretty cool. And like I said, it's something that every artist will be sharing. Audience members will be sharing.
Oh, did it?
As well. So I think it's one of those things from COVID that is positive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry the Zoom got a little wonky there right at the end. Thank God it was right at the end.
Yeah.
My God. Thank God we were able to hold, please hold.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us today. The Alchemist of Dreams going on at Fringe starts on May 21st.
Yep, Orange venue, $12 are your tickets, but make sure you get a button first because the thing that drives me crazy are when people don't understand that. So I little button Danny, I yell at people. I'm like, get your buttons first, get your buttons. Once you've done that, then you can get everything else. Hey, guys, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on the big deal, and best of luck. I hope it goes really well for you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, anytime, y'all. Take care. See ya. Well, that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Almost seems normal, right? I don't trust it. Is Brian going to give us anything for making the call to DeSantis and freeing up the masks?
Yeah. I worked that in the deal.
Yeah, we worked that in the deal, so you could have a real Fringe.
Yeah. Get your Miller Lite ready.
You were just going to have a regular Fringe. Now you're going to have a real Fringe. Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that. Does that make things harder? It probably does because everybody's like, confused now. Great. All right.
Well, we got another guest, so we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. Do me a favor. Check out our YouTube channel. Just search Tom and Dan Live. Very easy to find. And actually, this show right here, right what we're doing right now, will be on the old YouTubes. And all of our shows, Monday through Friday, are on YouTube. So go there and like and subscribe and hit the alert button deal because that's what they say you're supposed to do.
Yeah, we have another guest from Fringe. We'll talk to him about his show and everything. But before that, I want to talk to Brian, who's been organizing Fringe for how long, Brian, now?
I've been working for Fringe officially on the payroll for the last 5 years, but I've been with Fringe for, I don't know, since the beginning as a patron. And
if you're
volunteer.
5, how many years have we done this in the studio with the Fringe folks? Is this our 4th?
This is officially the 4th Fringe week that we've done with you guys, but I've been bringing Fringe guests in for at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
that's crazy, isn't it?
And so, Brian, of course, last year, Fringe had to get canceled. So let's talk about that.
Because it was inappropriately grabbing everybody. Cancel that Fringe.
March 19th, the day that will live in infamy.
Yeah, Fringe grabbed him right there.
And so, for you, putting on a gigantic event like Fringe is that's, filled with people and live venues and things, obviously everything gets canceled. What were you thinking last year's? Like, were you like, hopefully we could do it next year? Were you like, man, like we'll see? It's just like everybody was put on to this month-to-month we'll see scenario, which was weird because no one could even foresee the future because it was month-to-month. It was like, well, we should be maybe I think so, but no way of knowing. Yeah. We'll wait next month. We'll know more. And then it literally just went like that.
When was the day we put we never collectively all put our heads down and was like, well, all right, 8 months. Like nobody did that, right? We always kept.
It was all
you kept
no one knew.
looking for it.
Well, we kind of did. March 19th, like I said that before, but Alana Friskus, our executive director, worked really closely with our amazing board of directors, and we just got to the point where we made an educated decision that with all of these artists coming from all over the country and all over the world, we just knew that realistically we could not guarantee that this was going to happen in May, and we had to make that decision to cancel because, could these artists get visas to come into the country to perform, and could people travel from across the country and even get into Florida? So we just said let's just cut our losses at this point. But really, the thing that hurt us the most and the first thing we thought about was really the artists, because these artists, they travel around and this is how they make their money. They travel the world,
especially since the majority of the money goes to the artists.
100% goes to the artists. Every ticket.
It's important to let you know that when you're buying these tickets, the money goes to the artists. So I mean, oh man.
So we did some things to to try to help the artists along the way. Like we opened a website where artists could be like a depository of all the things they were doing online as they transitioned to doing online events. We did what was called Fringe Today, which was all online on Zoom, and we did all these live broadcasts, and it was weird, but we did what we could to take care of the patrons.
Yeah, you do what you can, I guess.
Speaking of like everybody who was planning on putting together events or had things like in the works that were thinking about canceling, everybody was trying to determine whether like I should, because like you're getting pressure on both sides of it, like you should do it, and then people are like, you got to cancel it. So it's like, you don't know.
We got so much pushback from just canceling.
Who helped everybody? The NBA, because once they cancel, everybody's like, NBA did it. Because honestly, that's when we canceled our event, and that's when the world decided like, oh man, the NBA did it. Like we can do it. It honestly, if the NBA hadn't done that,
every decision we make is based off of the NBA.
In our world, all the other Fringe festivals around the world were watching us because Orlando's one of the first in the world. In the lineup of Fringes, so everyone's watching Orlando.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is. So the moment that we put the cancellation out there, we had so much of an outpouring from people around the world, sharing their love and just supporting us. And then we just watched the rest of the festivals just fall like dominoes after we made our initial decision.
I had listeners email me and tell me I'm a pussy.
Well, that is
I got a lot of that.
But
and I'm like, okay, but this is gonna be weird because.
But we did get an email from a guy who originally called us that,
the mad guy,
and then came back and was like, I apologize, I didn't know how the severity.
Got COVID.
Well, it's just like they, and a couple weeks later they're like, oh, I didn't know, because but that's what you have to do. You have to make a call.
You know what? And if you do that, if you do call me that, and then later you email me and apologize, I fully accept it because I know what it's like to be there, and it takes a lot of cojones to email back and say, yo, that's embarrassing, I screwed up. Yeah, so I admire the fact that he ate the apology.
Most everybody was really supportive, and they understood the decision we made. There were a few people saying, are you sure it's not going to be clear by May?
A lot of it, I think a lot of it was coming from
not.
It's coming from a selfish place, right? Like a lot of it comes from a selfish place. Like Fringe, there are plenty of people I know that especially in the arts community, that set their watch to Fringe Orlando.
Totally, yeah.
And if they can't do it, you sure we can't do it, please?
Right.
Even if I'm going to get some sort of, something and could possibly get hurt.
We explored every possible way that we could do the festival and any sort of, scheme or plan, and we just didn't think we could do it safely and have the kind of quality shows that we expected to.
And now, not only can we do it, but you're live in person. We have our next guest who has a show at Fringe.
Yes,
I hope so. Unless you just brought this in person from right outside our studio.
Beejay Clinton's here. How you doing, Beejay?
I am so good. How are you?
Good. So tell us about your Fringe show.
So my Fringe show is called Judas. It is about the last days of Jesus Christ as told through the perspective of his greatest betrayer, spoiler alert, and gay lover.
Okay.
There's the Fringe twist.
I love this.
There's the Fringe twist. Booty dance. Yes, we love this. We're pro this.
So, with dealing with a subject like this,
it's a spicy show.
Do you get anybody that gets mad about it?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, okay. But they don't tell you?
No, but I did send a press release to the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, I like that.
I'll let you know if they show up in protest, because all press is good press.
Yeah.
Those signs they have, and every time I see them, I'm like,
don't bring up signs
so
in front of Brian.
Expensive. Yeah, I know.
Trigger.
But they're holding really well-made signs with the F word for gays on it. And it's like, that's a $40 sign. Why would you buy that?
Listen, producing your own show at Fringe, you learn how expensive signs are, okay? Like, that's pricey.
So,
awesome.
How'd you think of this? Did you obviously wrote this? Right?
Yeah, I'm everything. I'm the writer, director, producer, star. I'm all of it. Yeah, so, I guess 10 years ago, or almost, my first Fringe in Orlando was 2012. I saw a show, and I don't know, after it, I was just compelled to want to write a show about Jesus and Judas. It was just, something told me I should. At that time, it was a whole ensemble idea, but I never wrote it. It was just I always told people, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Because, as a writer, you're working on things for a long time before you ever write a single word.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I did a one-person show at Fringe in 2019, And after that, I just started working on this show, and it started out as this really like poetic, romantic, beautiful 4-person ensemble. And I was like, this isn't me. So now it's just really snarky and gay. And it's still, I mean, there's still some romance, but there's a lot of snark. Yeah. So I don't know. I was just compelled to write a story about Jesus Christ.
Were you raised in the church? Do you have a Christian background at all?
I'm from Southeast Missouri, so my family's like Southern Baptist.
Okay.
You know, it was never really my bag. But I did hear a lot about it.
Sure.
And like Christianity, I'm not sure. But Jesus, the human being, which is what my show is about, I think is great. You know, Jesus, the human being, like Britney Spears, the human being,
of course,
is here to save the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
look what you did, Jesus. So, like, you made an impact. Like, we can all agree and come together and be like, this guy, he did it. He did something.
Yeah, love him or hate him. He made his mark. Are we talking about our last president or Jesus? What's happening?
I'm just saying that, like, he did things right to get remembered.
Yeah.
Like, he made an impact.
He did. And a lot of them, I don't even know if they're true or not.
And I say, like, you know, I say that throughout. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I believe any of this, but so it's just more about Judas's boyfriend. You know, that's what the story's about. And it's just about, I think the world, especially after the last year, could really love each other more. And like, I think underneath all of the snark and the gayness and the sass, that's what my story is about. You know, like loving. You know.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
And also
that.
butt stuff.
Because I mean, you got to throw that in there.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gay. I say you got to throw it in there.
Yeah. If you do think about it, though, like, if you just, like, not being religious and just look at a pure historical standpoint of this person, Jesus Christ, you're like, man, like, it left an impression of what, like his
mostly,
following.
But you think about it.
Wow.
But like if I went out like that downtown Orlando, I kind of feel like more people would remember me too. You nail me downtown, and I don't
know. You could do a lot to not be remembered.
Thing my mom's dead because he would be really mad at me right now. But I'm just saying that's a good thing to remember it by, right? I mean,
BJ, what are, like, when you write a show like this? Like, I'm sure you've written other shows, and they all have kind of lifespans, and this is what I'm curious about, because all the Fringe performers we've ever talked to, like, they're all creators, and they create something, a show, and they'll run with it for a certain amount of time, and then they'll move on.
Yeah, I've never seen a one-off where they do it and they're like, and I'll never do it again. It's always looking for the next show, writing the next thing.
But how long it lasts is completely up to them, and it seems like it lasts until their passion for it or whatever. It has a natural lifespan.
Sure.
So what is that lifespan of a particular creation or show?
I mean, speaking of doing a one-off, the show I did in 2019 pretty much was a one-off. I don't think I'll ever do it again. It was the story of my life, pretty cathartic. I was done.
Good.
I believe so strongly in this show, I would do this show until I literally couldn't anymore.
Really?
You know?
Okay.
Like, I think that this is the epitome of who I am as an artist. I think it is a great example of Fringe and a great example of just theater in general, and I believe really strongly. So I will write it until the wheels fall off.
I love the fact that you're proud of your show. I don't get many, like, I don't know that feel. You know, we were talking to Blue Star about dreams, and you were saying, I don't know, he doesn't have dreams. He doesn't know what dreams are. I don't know what it's like to do something and then honestly look at it and be like, I am really happy with that. You know, like, I did it.
Yeah.
Well, I do know what it's like to be happy with something, but I don't know how to take that and then look back at myself and be like, well done. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't... So when you said that, you rattled me a little bit. I like that.
Well, you have to create something good first. We've never created something good.
Fair enough.
That's the first part of it.
I deserve that. But you know what I mean? Like, it makes me want to see your show. When the guy that writes the show is confident about it, I'm like, all right, I'm in. You know what I mean? Like... If you came in and said, I really think you're going to... No, you didn't say that. You said, this is me, and this is a perfect representation of me and Fringe.
BJ, do you think that, like, because obviously the subject matter can be offensive to people, right? Because that's, but that's what...
Well, the Jesus stuff is more offensive than the butt stuff, right? Because everybody's like, don't make fun of Jesus, so you're not allowed.
Yeah. Or, like, take it and write your own story, whatever it is. Like,
right.
But it feels like art and it can never be offensive because it's art and that's not its intent, right? Unless its intent is to be offensive, but therefore you shouldn't be offended because that's what its intent. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and Beejay just broke it down for us because the intent has been told is to love one another more. So yeah.
Do you, Beejay, as a
Myth
pure
busted.
artist, and I think you probably do, because you wrote the show and like it could be offensive to people. Is there any art form that you could be offended by? Like, could you ever watch a show at Fringe and be offended by it, or are you in the mindset of
that's a decent question?
Everything's art. I cannot be offended by this because that's their art, and that by the fact that I'm offended by it, it's my own problem. Like, how do you feel about those things?
So, I mean, I think as far as offended goes, probably not. I think art is subjective. It's good or it's bad to each individual person. Controversial opinion. I do have an issue seeing shows where people, specifically where straight men are playing gay men. As an actor, I don't think that's okay. I'll watch it. I'll support it. But I will always be like, did you have to?
Yeah.
You know, especially in Orlando. There
Right.
are so many gay people
That's actually
here.
an excellent point. I wouldn't have thought of that. So, like on Modern Family, the gay couple, there's one gay guy that's
Right.
a gay guy,
That
and
is
one
like
guy,
an offensive stereotype. And
Yeah.
a straight man. It feels like you're making fun.
It's bad,
That's what
then.
it feels like. I mean, no one agrees with me.
Really?
I am truly alone on an island.
No, but I'm glad I asked this question because I've asked this to my wife before. I was like, how does he get away with doing that?
He
Because
shouldn't.
this is such a big
But he
thing.
does it so good. I'm like, when I found out he wasn't gay, I was like, oh my God. It blew my cowboy boots off. I'm joking.
Well, you had on your conservative cowboy boots. Yeah, he can't watch Modern Family without cowboy boots. It's weird.
But no, but at least you're honest about it because
Yeah,
you're like,
I
they're like,
appreciate
that's
you're
how
all very honest. I like the candidness. Yeah,
you're like, that's how I feel. There's nothing wrong. Like, you can't tell someone like, oh, your feeling is wrong. But that totally makes sense.
the Orlando point. Yeah, I'm like, yes, okay, that's an excellent point.
You can't like walk 5 feet without running into a gay person. Like,
that has like
a gay actor.
Yeah,
I mean,
dance
like-
credit, actor credit, writing credit. Like they all have like more than one different skill they can. You know, normally they're a duo skill set. Oh yeah, he's just sing and dance. Oh really? Sign you up. Interesting.
What about roles for little people? Have you ever thought about?
See what he's doing?
Well, I'm just saying, like, instead of using like a little person, they use a child.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they use me.
I thought where that was going to.
I'm joking. Anyway, so this particular show, what's the like? How long does it take you to write from beginning to finish? Because I'm curious about that. Like, is it a month long or months, years?
Yeah, I've been working on this show for a little over 2 years, because I had to read the stupid Bible.
Oh, okay.
You know?
All right. So you had to do research and
I had to like research the Bible, and there are all these.
They don't have that on audiobook by now.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
you can
You
pick
can
who
also
reads
just Google.
it.
Honestly,
Right.
I didn't like pick up
Cliff
a Bible,
notes of
but
the
you know.
Bible.
Yeah,
Um,
you can pick who reads it. I have Homer Simpson read it to me. That's awesome.
And there are all these like texts that didn't make the Bible for whatever reason, like the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Mary and the Gospel of Judas, right? So you have to read all those.
Supplemental.
Right. So research took me a few months, and then, like I said, the original show I wrote, which was called The Heartbreak of Judas Iscariot, super dramatic. That was like the original idea, like a 4-person ensemble piece, and I love it. I use it now sort of as like, I don't look at the Bible for research anymore. I look at that. Like that's sort of my manuscript where I go back to and reference. So then that turned into a 2-person show, and then that eventually became this show. So I've been working on it from start to finish for like about 2 years.
Wow. Yeah. That's
time.
so. And like you, I'm sure you had the premise in your head. It's just working all the details, and then like it changes, and as time goes, it just continues to evolve. And this incarnation of it, though, you, like you said, you do this for a long time, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've been really fortunate to learn like what I'm good at in theater quickly, you know, like, and I think standing in front of an audience, like talking to people, just connecting with humans is what I do. And that's what I'll do until I can't do it anymore. And I think I was fortunate enough to be able to find, this is so cheesy. I was fortunate enough to be able to like find myself in Judas, you know, and like really connect sort of through the story, through the person. I mean, he's really just me. Like, if you see the show, it's very much just this talking. You know, it's just through the lens of.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think that Fringe is very unique to me in that you find the highest concentration of humans that do one of the things that you and I deem the most difficult, which is to take a very intimate and a smaller venue. I mean, I'm not going to say that standing in front of 30,000 people is not scary, but I do think there's a massive disconnect there that is less terrifying in some ways because you're not connected in any way, right? But at Fringe, like you guys, you go in there and you take weird, like sometimes controversial, like things that can like make you think or make you mad or whatever, and you go in there into a smaller venue and then you just kind of talk to the people. And you and I've said before, for many, many years, especially like in broadcasting, when it's a one-man show, that's very terrifying. That's very scary. It's very difficult. In Fringe, I believe, Orlando Fringe Festival is like the highest concentration of people that are willing to go in. And I'm not talking stand-up, but I guess it would be similar in a way. But people go up there and they perform these one-man type of deals, and that is very unique.
Yeah.
And powerful. I think in some ways it can be
scary too.
Yes, it's scary
to non-performers thinking like you're
and that
up on stage by yourself, no help.
When I'm grabbing that, like when I'm watching you do the performance, I can feel that terror. Maybe I'm projecting it, but it's there. I don't know. I love the energy of Fringe, and I love
it's a beautiful intimacy. Really is, and especially this year. Where we have reduced capacities in all the venues.
Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I'm getting all emotional about it. I'm like, we haven't done
also,
this.
especially this year, because like I haven't been in front of a crowd in a year. Like so, it feels even more.
Yeah, it's got to feel crazy to go out there. In fact, I bet you some of these performances opening night are going to be kind of emotionally
super raw too.
Well, I think it's going to be a reset button for a lot of people. Like, I don't know. It was weird even when you and I walked out and saw a crowd of people. Now, granted, they're in pods, like they're like a bunch of caged animals. It was like I was out there to select a cheetah or something. But like it was very powerful. Like I'm just excited to see all of it.
Yeah, I mean the fact that live performing is back and we get to watch it again. It's crazy that we went an entire year and that there was that void. Yeah, and one way it's like it made you appreciate watching things live way more.
Sure.
The fact that you just didn't get to see it. Like,
for sure.
I feel like people can't wait to watch something live. Is they didn't get it.
Well, we got live streams and we got music live streams and stuff
like
that.
It's not the same, man.
But Broadway died, dude. I mean, Broadway. I mean, the energy exchange between humans on a stage and humans in an audience is gone.
BJ, as you were talking to me, I'm astounded that you're sitting in front of me. Like, because we haven't a guest.
We haven't had a guest. I wasn't going to say anything, but it was freaking me out too. Was I staring directly into your eyes? Because I was. My God, there's a human here.
We've had guests in, but few and far between, way few and far between. And the fact that you were talking to me, right, and I'm not looking up at the Zoom screen or just listening, I'm
weird,
like,
man. It's weird.
I found myself focusing. I'm like, oh my God, he's in front of me talking. Like, I feel a different connection than no matter what. I know that technology allows us to see each other, but man, there is a human connection that you do not get.
It's way better. And I just want to make sure we plug this big time. I know Sam was putting in the Twitch chat room. $12, the Red Venue. It's Judas, BJ Clinton. Check it out. Red Venue again. Get your button first. That's the way it works.
This one is 18 and up.
18 and up. Yep. Beware. Starts the 19th through the 29th. You get a Wednesday, a Saturday, a Monday, a Friday, and a Saturday. But go to the website, orlandofringe.org.
I started the 22nd.
Oh, sorry.
No, we blew it.
Did I say the 22nd or no?
I think so, but I don't start on the 19th.
Yeah, it says the 19th.
I blew it then.
Brian blew it.
Yes.
It starts Saturday, May 22nd.
And don't get me started on the signs.
You can always check OrlandoFringe.org for all the different events.
Indeed, but it's all up there. And again, get your button first. I don't want to hear it.
BJ, thanks so much for coming by. Brian, it's
really
great to see you.
Appreciate it. Good luck with everything. Thanks for letting us stare at you like we've never seen a human in 14 months.
Yeah.
And are we out of here?
Yeah. Get your tickets, and we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here. Check out our Twitch channel. Just search Tom and Dan Live, and do the same on the old YouTube. I'd appreciate it. We have a great YouTube channel with all of our videos on there from every Twitch broadcast. They're huge, they're color corrected and beautiful, and you can watch them all in glorious HD.
All right, let's do some voicemail.
Big breath. Let's try this one.
Hey Hey, Tom and Dan, Sam, Trav. I was listening to the BDM show, and you can play this on ACT. This is clean. But you guys were talking about dentistry and crooked teeth, and I'm so mad at myself. I was a band kid. I played trombone. I was convinced I was going to be a professional trombone player and or music teacher, but leaning more towards professional trombone player. And my teeth are crooked AF. And my mom's like, I'll pay for braces. I'm like, no. Yeah, I can't. I'll mess up my embouchure. I won't be able to play my trombone. It'll ruin my life. And then 2 years into music college, I skipped town with my boyfriend, moved to New York City, and still got crooked teeth. And I'm like so mad that I never got them fixed, and now I'm broke and I can't get them fixed. And why is dentistry so expensive? All right,
it is.
Love ya. Bye.
You're
with you.
Fine.
But is that true? Will it affect like how you play?
I think it
Your
could.
teeth?
I think it could, but I think she was okay. I don't mean to be mean to Justine, but and she's a good sport, and she's been one of our listeners for a very long time, and I think she'll understand what I mean. I think you were like greatly overshooting how good you were at trombone if you thought that by removing your teeth or straightening them would change
teeth.
would change the airflow in your embouchure. Okay,
Right.
you'd literally have to be such a good trombone, like you'd have to be the Jordan of trombone, and then your parents would be like, whoa, don't mess with her
Don't
teeth.
tinker with it,
That's
yeah.
that gives her the special whistle in her trombone. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And I don't think you were ever that good, Justine, and that's what I'm here to say. I'm here to say the things that you need to hear, and that's what you needed to hear. You were never that. I'm not saying you weren't good. You're saying you're not as good as you thought you were at trombone.
Also, can you still go back to your mom or parents and say like, "Hey, is that
Nah,
offer
bro.
still
Nah.
available?" I feel like it should be.
I think it should be. You could ask.
Your parents offered you like, "Hey, I'll fix
but
your teeth,"
when
and
you're
then
a minor, usually you're under your parents' insurance. There's no way she's still under her insurance. No, she's not paying for that.
Like, I went back to my mom after I dropped out of college because I was going back to college to finish my degree at UCF. And I asked my mom for money because originally the deal was she's going to pay for me to be in college, and she said no.
oh,
There
she
you go.
said no. Oh,
No, I'm joking. She actually no. She didn't. You guys knew my mom pretty well. No, she actually, without me even saying anything, gave me that as my Christmas gift. Gave me like $600 for a class or something. I'm like, I would have rather had the $600.
the how much are like Invisalign or whatever? $5,000? Like if you just went and paid out of pocket?
I think so, yeah.
Is it that, or is it more
But
or less?
I think the Invisaligns are for like like if you have very light crooked teeth, like if you have
That's more expensive.
or
though.
some shifting. No, the conventional ones, I think, the old metal to the tooth, I still think that's more expensive.
Okay.
Because that's moving stuff. The Invisalign, don't get me wrong.
It's for
It's for
slider.
light.
Yeah, it's a lighter.
It's the Mick Ultra of braces, and then regular braces, that is a Bell's Two Hearted.
According to the Consumer Guide for Dentistry, the national average for Invisalign is between $3,000 and $5,000.
Okay.
You're really good at this.
What
dude.
about
He hits it on the nut
regular
every time.
braces? But I've always heard the term 5,000 for braces, or maybe 8,000. Something like that, between 5 and 8.
I mean, I guess technically I still have braces because I have a bottom retainer that's sealed into my bottom teeth that cannot come out.
Is it like that forever?
Yeah,
Or is
you can see it. Look, see the wire?
Ew. I didn't see it.
While
Yeah,
the average
it's
cost
meaning.
for
It's very
braces
mean.
is between $5,000 and $6,000, some individuals pay as little as $3,000 or as much as $10,000. It depends on your age, insurance plan, and type of braces you wear.
You got to go to Hungary.
I bet you there
Yeah,
is
you got to
cheaper
go to,
braces
you gotta get
in
out of the
different
country.
countries. Yeah.
Who's got the cheapest braces?
Although
Puerto Rico. You got to get some Puerto Rican braces.
you need a doctor willing to adjust them, because just getting them,
No.
like, you have to go back and tighten them, right?
Yeah, they tighten them. They put rubber bands on them.
But what if you say you get your braces in like Puerto Rico?
Yeah, you
right?
can come back here and you got to work a deal with a doctor to have a service plan.
Okay, yeah. Could
I
you
was
do
always
that?
told like that.
They won't.
Totally.
Well, I was told the braces weren't covered by insurance because it was cosmetic.
I don't think mine were. I believe my
Right.
braces, my parents paid out of pocket,
Yeah,
which
you
is
had
why
to
my dad
do
yelled,
like
God,
monthly payments and
I
stuff.
was yelling, God
Payment
damn it, about
plans.
my braces all the time.
It depends
Same
on
with
your
contacts.
insurance, though. I think if you have really expensive insurance, like they'll probably have some braces plan in there, but it probably won't be 100%, but it'll be like 25%. You know, some.
I bet you're right.
garbage like
I
that.
bet you there's a guy who you can go to like Hungary, Puerto Rico, the DR. I'm going to the DR next month. You can go to the Dominican Republic and get your braces installed in the DR. And then when you come back to Orlando, you just got to find one of his preferred partners, and then you go there for your braces
Well,
service
once they're
plan.
in, I mean, anybody could adjust them, right?
Yeah, but they may not. It's just
like
like the carpet.
carpet.
Yeah. Like, seriously.
We
What?
should go into business together with the same human.
No, I couldn't find a carpet installer to install the carpet that we got because no carpet installer wants to install other people's carpet. And they said, I'm sorry, we only install our own carpet. And
And
that
what was the why?
because, well,
They can't get hurt from
no.
carpet, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. They were like,
Kicking
we don't
it
want
with
to take
your
like
knees, I think you can.
No, it's not even about that. They just want to sell you. Like, so the dentist wants to put the braces on and sell you the braces because that's the expensive part. The adjusting is
Right.
just cheap. So they are. I bet you a lot of dentists were like, I'm not going to adjust or mess around with any braces that I didn't install, and they'll probably use the BS
Right,
excuse
right.
of like,
Yeah.
I don't know how well this other dentist installed them. So if I'm adjusting and they break, then it's on me. So I'm
Right,
not.
right.
Yeah, but it's all BS. They don't want to do it because you got them in Puerto Rico.
Okay, so
It's all the shim sham.
okay, the Twitch chat room's yelling at us. We're supposed to say orthodontist instead of dentist, but you know what? I'm just gonna say dentist
Yeah,
because
you know what I'm saying.
An orthodontist is a dentist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
It's
we'll
a
just say
teeth
dentist.
doctor.
Yeah, teeth doctor.
Oh.
So let's see here. Now Melissa in her Twitch chat room. This is amazing. She says our insurance pays a one-time fee of $1,800 towards orthodontics per kid. That's good, right? They give you at least $1,800 towards it. Better
Yeah.
than
That's
nothing.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, but no matter what, it's
$5,000.
The dentist like, oh, it's 1,800. I'll do the math, 5,000. Like it's always.
I-
It doesn't matter what you got.
And I had braces for a really long time, which is why my dad was so mad about it because my teeth were so bad that I had braces longer than most kids have braces. Now the end result was good.
yeah.
You know, like I'm happy with my teeth. I really like them, but they're painful, and the rubber bands were terrible, and the cleanliness involved in having to use proxy brushes and clean them all the time was terrible. It's not fun.
The whole teeth industry is pretty interesting because
I'm surprised we don't have a new version of teeth that is like hip with people. I'm not talking about like grills and stuff, but I'm just surprised we don't have like one big hippo tooth or something that we get as an implant.
Well,
you know how people are
Yeah.
like breast implants.
You can get fangs.
Yeah, breast implants are huge, and I see 50-50 when I walk outside. It's like, oh, fake, real, fake, real. Like, I'm surprised we don't have weirdo teeth implants.
or that there hasn't been a significant advance in some sort of company that sells you a one-time like full teeth protection, basically where they go tooth by tooth and they put some sort of like chemical compound over your teeth.
I had sealant,
like
but
sealant,
yeah.
like that. But
It's also not fair that we get all this technology, but they name it Bluetooth. Has nothing to do with dentistry at all. It's like, no,
Yeah.
but it's like you
stay in your lane.
that they seal your teeth at a certain age, and then it's good for like a termite treatment. It's good for 20 years,
Yeah.
you know. And then
That's what a vaccine is. That's what we do, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like you
some
paint.
sort-
Well, there's no money in that, Tom.
Paint
Once you're
my
coming back
teeth.
every year.
I know. Yeah.
props.
That's what sucks. But you think that won't, like, because think about how much money you'd pay for that. I guess if you could pay for that, you'd probably it wouldn't be a big deal of like getting cavities or.
Can I? Okay, let me ask you a serious question, you guys. Can I go to a dentist right now? Let's say I'm a millionaire and I go to my dentist and I go, hey, like I honestly have been wanting to do something a little flashier with my teeth.
You can put a diamond on one.
I would do that. Is there a place I could go to get all of my teeth, like you're saying, custom, like tricked out and painted?
Yeah.
Can I get my teeth painted?
Well, like you can get like caps.
I don't want
Colored caps.
Oh, like Tekashi 69.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get. By the way, Tekashi.
Tom knows him. Tom knows
Is there
him.
First
something
name basis.
wrong with that guy? Like,
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
got a disability?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
Really
know that.
dumb.
Well, no, I'm just saying like.
But dumb to the point of,
Is that
Yeah.
okay? Because I saw like some video on TikTok where they were like holding him, like two bodyguards were like helping him get down off a boat into like it looked like he was at some sort of sandbar or something, some place in Miami, like Key Biscayne or something, where there's a bunch of yachts parked and there's like a sandbar party.
Yeah.
And they were like helping him down, but he looked, his body style and everything, he looked like he was something was wrong with him.
Yeah, he's
Is something wrong with him? Like,
I think it is. I think there's something wrong with him.
Okay. All right. Because
A lot of these guys, I look at him and I go, something's wrong with you, and somebody's taking advantage of you because there's something
There
wrong
is a
with you.
Reddit thread that says, I've read that he asked recently of the judge to lower his penalty due to his low IQ. So maybe, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think this guy's maximizing his minimal IQ.
Okay. All right. And then
it takes a real genius to do that.
So, but what was he before this whole like? I know the whole only thing I know about him is he's a
SoundCloud
snitch,
guy,
and
Yeah,
everybody
he's
hates him for that. I have no idea even what the hell that was about. But I don't know. Was he was a rapper before?
Correct.
But it was a like ridiculous joke type of deal. Like
No, he was a rapper.
He's a real rapper.
He actually commissioned like actual gangsters to be in like his music videos and stuff, and then he snitched on those actual people that were doing crimes.
But was his performance good, or was
That's
it?
that's up for
I
debate.
mean, his latest album, I will say I've listened to the whole thing, and I didn't hate it.
So is he
It's not-
savant or is he severely low IQ?
Oh, it says
Oh, what happened? Bad.
he says in 5th grade he had an IQ of only 63 and was diagnosed with mild mental retardation of intellectual functioning.
Oh man, I nailed it. But I
that,
didn't
that
mean
was
to.
that was
I didn't
according
mean
to the court case.
I didn't
yes.
mean to. See, I wouldn't have said those things had I known it was true.
Well, so is his? Is there any music? His music that we can play? Okay.
Oh well, he throws bombs around.
Okay.
Yeah, you might be able to find a clean version, but I'm not really sure.
What I'm asking, like, are people listening to it and appreciating the art, or are they listening to it and like laughing, or like they?
No, I think
ridiculous?
people actually thoroughly enjoyed his music at one time.
Because there was
If you were a fan of his, I don't think it was like a joke thing.
Because like Old Dirty Bastard, right? He was a good rapper, but
Spell it.
he also
Yeah, TEKASHI.
he was ridiculous,
Did they take him off Spotify?
and
I guess now he's just 6'9".
Oh,
it's because it's
Drop
hard
the
for me to
Tekashi.
believe that he can produce quality rap with such a low IQ. I don't know if they maybe
Have you heard a lot of the new rap? Might be a superpower.
It's so yeah. Like I mean, like is he a good lyricist? There's none about that. It's just
it's not about that.
So it's just about the art. So, but like, is he mixing some sort of like?
says
What
that he
is
was
it?
born severely premature and addicted to crack cocaine and was subjected to extreme physical abuse by his mother.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
you can,
Oh,
I mean,
man,
there's
he
something.
he had some
sad.
issues.
Oh man,
There's something wrong with him.
Leave him
Like,
alone.
You know the.
Yeah,
there's something physically wrong with
I
him.
can't play any of these. I'm sorry. They all
Okay.
have explicit tags, and I can't find them.
Is it like? Have you heard it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not good either. It's just like if you're into that, it blends in well. Like it blends right into the genre. And if you heard it, you'd be like, yeah, this is good. You know.
So it sounds like the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no different. It's not any better. It's not any worse. Certainly not any worse. It's not. I listened to the last album, and I think I even told you, Sam. I was like, it's not bad.
How could he do it? What's like getting through that disability of having an extremely low IQ?
I don't know.
It seems almost impossible, right? Like,
Or maybe it's easier for him because maybe the other things would end up being very trapping to him. Like if his IQ were higher, then he would be distracted from what he's truly okay doing, which is rapping.
It just seems like like you would need to be smarter to do that successfully, right?
But a lot of the guys in, I don't know, a lot of the newer rappers that I've seen, as long as they're younger, I'll give them that. when I see them, I don't look at them and think, well, this guy's a very intelligent guy who's paving his way to music stardom. It seems more like, well, here's a guy who's got a mental problem and they're making money with him to make music.
Well,
is that what you think is happening?
I'm wondering how people are
I've
consuming it.
questioned
I
that
don't know.
about Little Yachty back in the day. You know, like I'll listen to this guy's lyrics and I'm like,
I apologize. Before we go to a break, because we have to, the story I'm reading is about 6ix9ine, but it's also about the people that he basically put in prison.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the person that has that was born premature, addicted to crack, and was diagnosed with mild mental retardation. That was another person. That was one of the gangsters that he put in prison. That was not him. So I don't know that he actually has a low IQ or not.
Good thing he got that.
Let me just clear that up.
There's something. I'm telling you, they were holding him. Unless he was just like,
maybe he was on that lean.
I thought about that, but
yeah, well, that'll make anybody that way.
I mean, they were holding Tom Brady up too, buddy.
Yeah, but this
was he on that lean?
His body style was.
I know what you mean.
Like something happened. Something happened. Unfortunately, seriously,
Yeah.
I'm like, so this something happened.
Like disabled.
Something happened, and it looked like it was unfortunate. Bye bye.